Hello WPC friends and family. I'm back again with what's in the kitchen. This week is going to be real easy. We're going to be doing a 3-ingredient peanut butter cookie. Now, if you're like my family, nobody in the house likes peanut butter cookies but me. So what I do with this recipe, and I'll show you in a little bit, is I'll roll these up and I'll freeze them and I'll take them out as I want. So the 3 ingredients are peanut butter. Who would have guessed? And what I did with my measuring cup before I put my peanut butter in is I sprayed it with some pan spray so it would come out just a little bit easier. This is a half a cup, but the original recipe calls for 1 cup. So that peanut butter came out of there pretty easy. Then I've got a half a cup of flour. Original recipe calls for sugar. The original recipe calls for 1 cup of sugar. And then an egg. So how do you get a half an egg? Well, you crack it, mix it up, and measure out about a half and a half. But if you're doing the whole recipe, you want to use a whole egg. So that recipe is a cup of peanut butter, a cup of sugar, and 1 whole egg. Got your ingredients in there, and you're just going to mix them up. You don't need a hand mixer. You can use a hand mixer if you like. Just really want to incorporate all of your ingredients. And then you're going to do little peanut butter balls. This is the way I do it. You can use a scoop or you can use a spoon. So since I'm going to freeze these, I'm going to take a regular old teaspoon, dip it in some water, scoop me up some peanut butter cookie, roll them, and I'm putting them on, this is called a seal pat. It's a silicone baking mat, and it's really used if you want exact measurement and exact squares, and if you're cutting something, a biscuit or cake or whatever. And this lays out flat on your cookie sheet or baking sheet, and it is good for up to about between 450 and 500 degrees. So this is very common in a lot of industrial kitchens, but for me, I usually just use parchment paper. And parchment paper is real paper that is oven safe. Okay, got some there. So I've rolled these up, and now I'm going to put my little mark on them. We're going to mash them down one way, and then mash them the other. That's a classic peanut butter cookie look. Now when you freeze these, I generally freeze them on a cookie sheet, separate, like this here on the seal pat. Let them get hard, and then I'll put them in a freezer bag. You can add chocolate chips to these if you'd like. You could even add peanut butter chips if you like. Now, if you're allergic to peanut butter, you can also use an almond butter. There are lots and lots of nut butter alternatives at the grocery store, and any of those would work. Basically, what you're looking for is for something that's going to hold your peanut butter cookie together. That's my washing machine going off. So I'm going to put these over here. They're ready for a 350-degree oven, and when they come out, we're going to have something that looks like this. Now before they go in, if you want to sprinkle them with a little sugar, you'll get that sugar coating on top, makes them just a tad bit sweeter. And I've made these before, and I used brown sugar. That sugar was a little bit too sweet for me. And if you know anything about brown sugar, you know that it is white sugar with molasses added. That's what makes it brown, and that's what makes it sticky. but for me it was a little bit too sweet. Also, if you're trying to cut down on your sugar, you can use a stevia or a sugar alternative in these cookies, and they cook pretty good. This is a gluten-free recipe, and it is a vegan vegetarian recipe. Peanut butter is a good fat because it comes from a plant source, and that's what peanut butter is. It's basically fat, but it is a plant fat, and it is a good fat. That doesn't mean you want to eat the whole batch, but when you consume them in moderation. So I'm going to have a peanut butter cookie. I hope you guys take advantage of this recipe and you enjoy it, and I'll see you next week. Bon appetit!